evening. You're watching Your World Tonight. I'm Sana Khan. Let's get you all the big news stories, right from the blast in Turkey to what's happening in Indian politics. We'll take a look at all of those stories, but first up, a look at the top stories this hour. 4 people arrested for the shocking New Year molestation in Bengaluru city. The accused had been stalking the survivor for days, say the police. The Indian President Pranab Mukherjee says demonetisation helps fight corruption but also temporarily slows down the economy. Eleven opposition parties petitioned the Election Commission to delay the budget after assembly polls in 5 states have been announced. The government rules out a change in dates. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi shares dais with bitter critic Nitish Kumar, praises his prohibition policy, asks other states to follow suit. And Google CEO Sundar Pinchai returns to his alma mater after 23 years, shares his life experiences with students at IIT Kharagpur. First up, let's take you to this breaking story at this hour from Turkey. A car bomb exploded outside of a courthouse in the western Turkish city of Izmir. According to the latest reports that we're getting, 3 people have been injured. The blast took place outside the prosecutors' and judges' entrance gate. Reports also say that the 2 attackers there have been killed by the Turkish police. Remember, this blast coming just days after a gunman stormed an Istanbul nightclub, killing 39 people, injuring scores of others during the New Year celebrations. Anchal Vora, West Asia Bureau Chief, joining us right now. Anchal, what's the latest that you can share with our viewers at this point?
Well, there's no more information in that sense that's come in. There's no clarity on who's behind this attack. Remember, there are several groups that have been conducting attacks against Turkey over the last year or so. ISIS and PKK, and that essentially is the Kurdish militant force that has been attacking Turkey. So we've got to really wait and watch out how what details emerge. But it's clear to say that over the last year or so, there have been many attacks in Turkey, and that vicious cycle now continues. Only recently, 39 people were killed and 70 injured in the nightclub attack. Turkey seems completely divided. Usually terror attacks unite people of a nation, but this country is completely divided post that attack. Some people are hoping that it would now work out to bridge the gap between the conservatives and the seculars, but that remains to be seen. As far as the attack that's outside the courthouse, only very sketchy details have come out, and we're awaiting more information from the Turkish government.
Right. Anchal, very quickly, if you can just, throw some light on this particular attack which has taken place in the city of Izmir, which is largely a peaceful city. How many injured, reports of any casualties so far, or too early to come out with those details? Right, it seems we've lost that connection with Anchal. We'll continue to get you more updates on this story, but for now, let's move on to India. In the city of Bengaluru, new developments there in the molestation case. Earlier today, Karnataka's Home Minister G. Parmeshwara spoke about the case. Women's rights activists criticized him after his remarks that Western influence caused such instances, which he later clarified. So far, the police have arrested 4 people in the case. Here's the latest on this story.
It's a video that's now gone viral and brought the issue of women's safety in India back in the spotlight. On New Year's Eve, 2 men attacked a woman just blocks away from her home in the southern Indian city of Bengaluru. Take a look at the CCTV footage. Shortly after midnight on Sunday, the victim and her roommate get off an auto rickshaw after a New Year's party. The victim's roommate says she wasn't feeling well, so walks home a little earlier, while the victim pays the auto driver. Here, you see her walking towards her home in Kamanahalli. This is when things take a turn for the worse. 2 suspects are waiting on a bike, and then one of the men approaches the victim and then assaults her. Reports say he tried to wish her on New Year's Eve, then tries to kiss her and drags her to the bike. A brief scuffle follows, and then she's tossed and thrown to the ground as she fends off her attackers. The bike then drives off into the night. Authorities say the two men stalked the victim for at least a week. They worked at a restaurant where the victim ordered food from. The victim and her roommate identified the suspects at the local police station today.
We have successfully arrested 4 persons out of total 6 persons who were involved in this heinous act. We have also recovered 1 bike, and 2 of their other accomplices have been identified. They will be arrested soon.
Bengaluru witnessed multiple incidents of sexual violence on New Year's Eve. On the busy and famed Brigade Road and MG Road, many women were molested and were forced to run for police cover. This despite the presence of nearly 1,500 police personnel and several CCTV cameras.
There is a total law and order failure in Bengaluru. The police are unable to protect the victim, and it shows that now after this video one can make out that the Home Minister is trying to protect the molesters.
Not only these 6 people, there should be more people, needs to be of these cases needs to be followed up, and there should be a stern warning. Look, these kind of things will not be tolerated.
The victim at Kamanahalli is reported from the northeast of India, but police say the crime is not being treated as race-related, but one that targets women. Some students from Nagaland and Manipur have faced violence in Bengaluru simply because they can't speak the language.
I never attributed or never even mentioned the word molestation. Police has already registered an FIR. We will soon bring those culprits to the books. We will not spare them.
Bengaluru is not the only city in India where women's safety has come into question. India's capital of New Delhi has seen a slew of rape cases, forcing massive public outcry when it comes to protecting women and toughening the law. With Archit Sheshadri in Delhi, Nishchita Virendra in Bengaluru for WION.
And my colleague Nishchita, in fact, joins me on the phone line from Bengaluru for the very latest. Nishchita, we heard the top cop in Bengaluru there addressing the media earlier on today. Normally, when a case is cracked, it's a big relief. But for Bengaluru, with the back-to-back cases of molestation and sexual harassment coming to light, the problem or the worry has just started. What is the larger plan of the Bengaluru police to deal with this situation?
Well, at the moment, the police officials have assured that there will be more vigilance. Definitely vigilance will be upped across the city, but not in terms of manpower, but more in terms of CCTV cameras being installed. On an approximate, Police Commissioner Praveen Sood has stated in his press conference that close to 800 to 900 CCTV cameras are currently installed in different parts of Bengaluru, and 550 more will be installed across several sensitive areas of the city, and those areas will be identified by a team of police personnel. And apart from that, we also understand that one of the primary questions that were raised when the media reported the case of mass molestation was that why was there no distress calls received by any of the control rooms from these women if they were being sexually assaulted. But more often than not, women who have tried to approach the control room state that their calls were not answered and they couldn't get through the line in time, and that is the reason why 100 lines will be added to make these control rooms more accessible for the women in distress. Now, another action that the police has taken to instill a sense of faith among the victims as well as the rest of the crowd in the city, in the administration as well as the police, is that they have completely hidden the identity of the victim. They have entirely protected it, and they have assured that suo motu complaints will be filed based on statements made by several other victims on social media, on newspapers, on television channels, even if they
also, Nishchita, very quickly, if you can share with our viewers the details about these 4 who've been arrested by the Bengaluru police today.
Right. So far, 4 arrests have been made, and after several hours of interrogation that lasted yesterday and today, the 4 have been identified as Ayyappa, Lenin, Sudesh and Somashekar. Now, Ayyappa is the prime accused in the He's the boy who had attacked the victim. He's the one who went to hug her and attacked her. And he is believed to be a part-time employee of Swiggy, which is a food delivery service in Bengaluru. He's also a student of commerce, is what is being stated in a private college in the city. Now, the accused number 2 is Lenin, who rode the bike. The other 2 accused, Sudesh as well as Somashekar, are the 2 men who are seen standing guard in the footage right at the beginning of that lane. Apart from these 4, there are 2 other accused, James and Puppy, who are still on the run.
All right, Nishchita, we leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing the details with our viewers. Moving on, it could snowball into another major opposition government face-off. No less than 16 opposition parties want the budget to be put off to March. They say presenting the budget at this time, or the 1st of February, will enable the BJP to hand out sops to influence the voters, which would violate the Model Code of Conduct. Raghavendra Rao has filed this report.
With the schedule for elections in 5 states now in the public domain, opposition parties are demanding that the budget be postponed until after the elections get over in March. The budget is slated for February 1, and the opposition says it gives the ruling BJP opportunity to influence the voter and circumvent the Model Code of Conduct.
कोई भी बजट प्रेजेंट नहीं होना चाहिए जब तक ये 5 राज्यों के इलेक्शन न हो, क्योंकि सरकार को एडवांटेज होता है। बहुत कई चीज़ें एक पॉपुलिस्ट मेजर लेते हैं, बजट ऐसे करते हैं जिसमें कई सुविधाएं अनाउंस होती हैं। अगर सत्ताधारी पार्टी, चाहे वो राज्य सरकार की हो या नेशनल लेवल की हो, अगर वो बजट में कई कंसेशन देंगे तो उससे रूलिंग पार्टी को लाभ होता है।
An 11-member opposition delegation comprising representatives of the Congress, Trinamool Congress, the DMK and JDU called on the Chief Election Commissioner to convey their concerns. They had earlier written to President Pranab Mukherjee on the same issue, arguing that in the past also budgets had been postponed due to elections.
With regard to the budget, the union budget will be presented on the 1st of February by the Finance Minister of the country, Mr. Arun Jaitley. There's no confusion about that. With regard to the demonetization, the Prime Minister, Modi ji, spoke on the 8th of November. And then when it ended, he spoke after that. After the 30th, he spoke on the 31st of December. What an irony, and it's also quite confusing. When Modi ji speaks, the opposition party says he shouldn't speak. And when he's not speaking, they say, why isn't he giving answers on these issues? You can't have it both ways. This is double standards or confusion, which the opposition parties themselves will have to clarify.
Sharad Pawar of the Nationalist Congress Party has also opposed the budget dates. The Aam Aadmi Party's Ashutosh had tweeted his opposition. It'll be wrong to present budget just 3 days before polling in Goa and Punjab. EC should take cognizance and issue appropriate instructions. The BJP has rejected the opposition's arguments, pointing out that the budget is a constitutional duty and not related to any one state. Also, the government's decision on shifting the budget dates from February end to February 1 had been communicated much earlier. The opposition's concerns over the presentation of the union budget just days before the poll process for 5 states begins may not be entirely misplaced. The Election Commission has said that it is examining the matter and is likely to take a call on it soon. Whether the Election Commission will step in and ask the centre to defer the presentation of the budget remains to be seen. In all likelihood, the EC will tell the central government to ensure that when it presents the union budget on February 1, it desists from making any announcements which are specific to these 5 poll-bound states. In New Delhi, Raghavendra Rao, WION.
And WION senior correspondent Raghavendra Rao, in fact, joins us live at this point in time. Raghavendra, give us a sense of what exactly are the opposition's apprehensions as far as the dates for the budget are concerned vis-a-vis the upcoming elections in 5 Indian states.
Sana, the opposition is clearly smelling a rat here. The decision to prepone the presentation of the union budget was taken almost a month back, but the announcement of election dates to these 5 states has led to a situation where the opposition is now apprehensive that while presenting the union budget, the government will be in a position to make announcements will be able to dole out SOPs, which has the potential to affect the minds of the voters, which has the potential to sway voters in its favor. And with demonetization likely to be one of the key issues in these polls, particularly in states like Uttar Pradesh, the opposition is apprehensive that in order to blunt the criticism on demonetization, the Modi government will be doing something concrete, something substantial in the budget in terms of doling out SOPs or trying to make things easier for the people by giving certain concessions. And this is what the opposition parties feel will lead to a situation where the level playing field will be disturbed.
Okay, now Raghavendra, we also know that the opposition parties met the election commissioner. What are the chances that actually the Election Commission of India changes the dates for budget at this point in time? Are there any real chances of that happening?
Technically, it's possible. The Election Commission is well within its rights and powers to ask the centre to defer the presentation of the union budget, provided it is convinced of the apprehensions that the presentation of this budget may disturb the level playing field. But our sources tell us that that is unlikely to happen. At best, the Election Commission will convey to the government that it can proceed ahead with the budget, and the only rider will be that when Finance Minister Arun Jaitley gets up to present the budget on February 1, his speech should not have any announcements or any anything to do with any state-specific issues or any state-specific announcements related to these 5 poll-bound states.
All right, Raghavendra, thanks so much for joining us there and shedding some light on that story. Moving on now, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised his bitter critic and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar at a public meeting in the eastern Indian state of Bihar today. Addressing a public meeting there on the occasion of Sikh Guru Gobind Singh's 350th birth anniversary, the Prime Minister hails the prohibition policy. He said it was an inspirational move for other states. Prime Minister Modi as well as Nitish Kumar shared the stage in a rare show of camaraderie after months of political potshots at each other.
बहुत मुश्किल काम होता है, उसको हाथ लगाने की हिम्मत करना भी बड़ा मुश्किल काम होता है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी नशा मुक्ति का जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने अभियान चलाया है, आने वाली पीढ़ियों को बचाने के लिए उन्होंने जो बीड़ा उठाया है, मैं उनकी बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं, बधाई देता हूं।
And let's go across live to our chief domestic correspondent Kartikeya Sharma at this point in time. Kartikeya, what we saw today on the stage, Nitish Kumar with the Prime Minister, is it merely a polite gesture or is there more to it than meets the eye?
I think two things are at play here. One, that in politics you don't have permanent friends and you don't have permanent enemies. It is same Mr. Nitish Kumar in 2009 in the Ludhiana rally when I was there covering elections. He was uncomfortable sharing dais with Narendra Modi, then Chief Minister of Gujarat. He broke the alliance with BJP that Narendra Modi cannot be the Prime Minister candidate. And now, because of his own political equations with Lalu and the Congress and feeling slightly dominated by them, he has shared the dais with the Prime Minister. There's nothing wrong sharing the dais with the Prime Minister because he's an elected Prime Minister, elected representative, and beyond the party lines. But it also goes on to show that Mr. Kumar is like any other politician, a political shapeshifter, where your image, your concerns, and your immediate needs are more important than your long-term commitment of what is right and wrong. And I think it absolutely makes it clear that he's also trying to signal a message within his alliance in Bihar that the options are not limited to him, or limited for him.
Right, Kartikeya, as you mentioned a short while back, with Lalu Prasad and Nitish Kumar looking two separate ways as far as the demonetization move of the government is concerned. Do you think this newfound bonhomie in some way could rock the boat as far as the state of Bihar is concerned, or not really?
I wouldn't say rock the boat. I would say I think what it's going to do, Sana, is that it's going to change the equations. Lalu is certainly going to get very suspicious. Congress is like it's like an accidental beneficiary got 4 ministers and more than 25 MLAs. So they are not bothered. But what it does is it recasts certain equations within RJD and the JDU. And the whole issue is that between Lalu and Nitish Kumar, Lalu was the dominant factor. Nitish, through this posturing, is trying to say he is his own man. That is why he did not oppose demonetization. Congress and Lalu Prasad opposed it, but Nitish Kumar did not oppose it.
All right, Kartikeya, thanks so much for joining us there and sharing your thoughts on that story. Well, moving on now, the government's demonetization exercise may lead to a temporary slowdown of the economy. India's President Pranab Mukherjee said this earlier today. The president said while the step may help fight black money and corruption, it could also lead to a slowdown of the economy. President Mukherjee was delivering his New Year's message to the governors and lieutenant governors through video conferencing. His statement to an extent mirrors the criticism that former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh made during a debate in the winter session of Parliament, where the former Prime Minister said that demonetization will hit growth in the short term. The government, however, has been defending the move, saying short-term pain is necessary for a long-term gain. The president, in fact, said, and I quote him, "Demonetization, while immobilizing black money and fighting corruption, may lead to a temporary slowdown of the economy," unquote. Moving on now, several Trinamool Congress MPs were detained by the Delhi police after they tried to forcibly enter Prime Minister's office at the South Block. This is the second day of protest by TMC leaders after the arrest of their party MPs Shradeep Bandyopadhyay and Tapas Pal in connection with the Rose Valley scam. The tussle between the Modi government and TMC has escalated since the arrest of Bandyopadhyay. Now West Bengal BJP leaders met Home Minister Rajnath Singh to apprise him of the present situation in the state. Meanwhile, singer-turned-politician Babul Supriyo has dared the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee to present evidence after she accused him of playing a role in the chit fund scam.
पूरे बंगाल में जो ग्राउंड लेवल के बीजेपी नेता है, बीजेपी जो कार्यकर्ता है, उनको जिस तरीके से मारपीट की जा रही है, जैसे बीजेपी ऑफिस को तोड़ा जा रहा है, एक सीएम ये कह रही है कि जब तक सुदीप बंदोपाध्याय को रिलीज नहीं किया जाएगा, बीजेपी ऑफिस को घेराव करके रखा जाएगा। ये इसके पीछे लॉजिक क्या है?
And big boost for the Congress party ahead of the Punjab and Uttarakhand Assembly elections. One rank, one pension or OROP leaders have decided to support and canvass for the Congress in both these states. This development comes in the wake of unhappiness expressed by OROP leaders in the package handed out to the veterans by the government last year. The support could prove to be a major turnaround for the Congress party in both Punjab and Uttarakhand, which are going to polls on the 4th of February. Meanwhile, the Congress has also committed itself to ensuring pay parity between the defence forces and Class A civil servants.
Democracy, every individual has the freedom to vote for whatever party he likes. That is what I said in 2009 when I was asked, what should we do? I said, you vote as per your choice. That's your conscience. I only told them the history which governments have been in power for how long.
All right, we shift focus to sports-related news now. India's captain cool Mahendra Singh Dhoni calls it a day as team leader. Dhoni steps down as India's one-day international and T20 captain. Take a look at this report.
Unpredictability was always his strongest suit, be it on the cricket field or off it. And in typical Mahendra Singh Dhoni style, he signed off from his reign as India's most successful one-day and T20 captain without any advance notice. Just a day before he was to sit down with the selectors to pick the team for the forthcoming series against England.
एक चीज जो देख के अच्छा लग रहा है कि उन्होंने अपने आप को आगे नहीं रखा, टीम को आगे रखा है और उस हिसाब से वो निर्णय लिया है उन्होंने कि शायद ये सही वक्त है, एक सीरीज शुरू होने वाला है और ये बहुत अहमियत है इस सीरीज की क्योंकि आगे चल के चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी है जहां पे डिफेंडिंग चैंपियन है भारत.
Leading the tributes was none other than India's greatest ever cricketer, Bharat Ratna Sachin Tendulkar. In a statement he said, and I quote, "Congratulations to MSD on a wonderful career as a captain, leading India to success in both T20 and ODI World Cups. I have seen him emerge from an aggressive player to a steady and decisive captain. It's a day to celebrate his successful captaincy and respect his decision," unquote. Dhoni leaves a rich legacy that may be difficult to get close to. He was a proven match winner who could instantly change a game with the bat. It was under his captaincy that India regained its supremacy in world cricket. India won the ICC World T20 under Dhoni in 2007. India became #1 in Tests under Dhoni in 2009. India won the World Cup under Dhoni in 2011. India also won the ICC Champions Trophy under Dhoni in 2013. Those are achievements that any cricketer will be proud of. Add to those some staggering numbers. Dhoni led India in 199 ODIs, scoring 6,633 runs at an average of just under 54. That also included a match-winning knock in the World Cup final against Sri Lanka in Mumbai. Dhoni led India in 72 T20 internationals, winning 42 of those along with 1,112 runs to his name. Dhoni leaves behind a team that is in safe hands. Virat Kohli has emerged a more than capable leader in Test cricket. Dhoni has indicated he will continue to play both formats. But clearly, the man with the Midas touch has indicated the end is near. In New Delhi, Digvijay Singh Deo, WION.
And today on Gravitas, why the world of cricket will miss Captain Cool. We'll talk about that, and later on the show, the legacy of Barack Obama's presidency. Don't miss it. India-born chief executive of the world's largest internet company, Google, Sundar Pinchai, met students at his alma mater, IIT Kharagpur in West Bengal. While interacting with students there, Pinchai recalled that though he had a smattering of Hindi from his schooling in Chennai, but it took IIT to expose his deficiency. Take a look at what Sundar Pinchai said.
I learned Hindi in school, but I never spoke it much. Just listening to how people were speaking, I just thought you address people this way. So one day there was someone in the mess, and I had to call him. I called him Abe Saleh. That's how in my first couple of weeks I thought you call people that way. Next thing I know, the folks in the mess were quite upset, and I think they temporarily closed down the mess. I wasn't very popular for that day. So
you were responsible for the mess shutting down, right?
Just for a moment, yeah, just for a moment.
That's it then on Your World Tonight. We're taking a short break. You can track all of our stories on our social, digital and mobile media platforms. We're taking a short break.